Hi, tech enthusiasts. Welcome to this series on Soroban Smart Contract platform. So we are going to be writing smart contracts using the Soroban Stellar Smart Contract platform. So when you look at this diagram you're seeing here, you see that for Stellar, you could write DeFi applications, you could issue assets, it has wallet, your own custom decentralized application and anchors. So you see here that you have the Stellar core, you have the Horizon API, and this is the entire Stellar network. And then you have a piece here. So I actually got this from the Stellar's website. So you have a piece here called Soroban. So Soroban is Stellar's smart contract platform. So within the Stellar network, you can write your smart contract using Soroban. So we're going to be looking at what Soroban is, why Soroban, and the Soroban development ecosystem, and example use cases for Soroban. So let's look at what Soroban is. So before we dive into looking at what Soroban is, first of all, I want you to take a look at what smart contracts are. So if we look at the second heading here for applications, it says applications interact with the blockchain and can use smart contract as backend. So let's look at a typical Web 2 application where you have your front end and your back end. In this case, you build your front end with like a front end library, such as, let's say, you could use like raw HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, or you could go for like React, Angular, or Vue.js. And then normally you have an API written in like whatever programming language you are comfortable with. So, but in the decentralized world in Web 3, generally you want to have a front end and a back end, and the back end is actually a smart contract. So within the smart contract, all the logic, all your backend logic and rules enforced on the blockchain will be written in this smart contract language. So if you look at the first heading, yes, a smart contract are self-executing program with the terms of an agreement written directly in code. They automatically enforce and execute the terms of a contract when predefined conditions are met. Developer must define the rules and logic of the contract while also ensuring security. Once written and tested, smart contracts are deployed to the network where they become immutable and publicly accessible. So you could see that some of the features of smart contracts are outlined here. That the smart contract execute the terms of the contract, that developers will define these rules, and also enforcing the security on their smart contract. That smart contract will be deployed on the blockchain and they remain immutable and publicly accessible. So let's now turn our focus to what Soroban is. Having understood what smart contract are, kind of like the back end of our blockchain application. So what then is Soroban? So Soroban is a smart contract platform on Stellar. Soroban enables the creation of decentralized application on the Stellar blockchain. Soroban utilizes Stellar fast and low-cost transaction processing capabilities. Soroban supports advanced programming. Soroban provides a Turing-complete programming language for building complex smart contracts. So no matter what your use case is, Soroban has got you covered. Soroban is actually extensive, and the next feature is that Soroban is actually built to support WASM. So that means in the future, you could have so many SDK support for Soroban and also Rust as well. I actually became part of the Stellar developer ecosystem because of my love for Rust. It was just a hobby for me to try out something in Rust, and I fell into Stellar and I've never looked back. So efficient calculation and versatile application. Soroban can be used for a variety of applications, including financial calculation and programming. So another feature of WASM, the building support for WASM and Rust in Soroban means is the portability and accessibility. Soroban can be easily integrated to WASM and Rust-based projects, making it accessible across platforms. This was what I was telling you about. So this could encourage developers from other programming languages to kind of build SDKs that will be deployed to the network. So focus on security, scalability, and performance. So Soroban modular design allows you to handle increased workload. Soroban deploys advanced encryption to protect user data. Soroban utilizes optimized algorithm for efficient data processing. So this is how a typical Soroban smart contract looks like. So here you kind of have the Soroban SDK where you do your basic imports of the contract, the contract implementation, the symbol short, the vector, which is kind of like Soroban owns vector. If you see here, there's no exit, meaning that it's not going to be employing native Rust standard library to actually reduce the size of your compile binaries. And you see the env here, the symbol, the short symbol here, and the symbol, and the vector, and the vec. So you see here, for example, they are using this vec, which is a macro, to kind of create a short symbol. So this is the entry point of your program, this public function hello. And you could see here you have a stock called hello contract, which is similar to, if you're coming from an object-oriented programming background, you could see that this hello contract is similar to your class, and these are like methods. And Soroban also provides like utilities for writing tests. So why Soroban? So you might imagine there are so many platforms in which we could write smart contracts. But why Soroban? Why Soroban? If you look at this article here, actually on the Stellar blog page, we talk about Soroban smart contract platform native to the Stellar network is live on FeatureNet. But one of the things that caught my attention was the reason why Soroban was built. So if you see here, they say we built Soroban because as developers, we didn't see the kind of smart contract platform we wanted to work with in the market. So there are so many smart contract platforms, but they didn't actually see the one that supports what they wanted. Said Tom Weller, Vice President of Tech Strategy at Stellar Development Foundation. Just to say something on the side, if you look at here, you see the 100 billion adoption for creator to support developers contributed to and building on Soroban. So this is actually real. And I think the submissions are currently going on as I record this video. He said, we saw the friction. We go back. So we saw the friction on other networks, and our response is Soroban. Smart contracts that are designed for batteries included developer experience, for scale, and for reliable access to financial rails through the Stellar network. With Stellar Live on Fusion, the developer can now begin writing smart contract in the testing environment and get rewarded for doing so. The Soroban Adoption Fund dedicates $100 million to support developers building products and tools for the Soroban ecosystem. So this is what we're talking about. Build on top of supports WASM and Rust, and have actually learned from the decades of mistakes of other platforms to actually build a more improved and reliable smart contract building platform on the Stellar blockchain. And these are some of the features of the Soroban. It enables DeFi. You could build your decentralized applications, tokenization, and other decentralized solutions, which promotes financial inclusions, facilitates secure digital transactions, seamless integration with Stellar Global Payment Network. You know, one of the things they don't talk much about Stellar is that Stellar also has a very low transaction cost. I think it should be among like the top 3 or top 5. Low transaction cost, high speed, and interoperability. So that means the transactions on Stellar are not actually that much, which means when you build your smart contract on Soroban, you enjoy low transaction fees. So let's look at the Soroban development ecosystem. So within the Soroban development ecosystem, of course, we talked about the testnet earlier. So it provides a sandbox environment for testing Soroban smart contracts. Then you have the Stellar CLI, which is a command line multi-tool for running and deploying Stellar contracts on the Stellar network. So you use the Stellar CLI, for example, for creating a new project, for creating a new smart contract, for deploying, for managing, for example, your network and whatever. So development-wise, Stellar supports the use of Visual Studio Code Editor that you might have been already using. The Rust Analyzer, which is kind of like for Rust language support on VS Code. So this is actually like an add-on or a plugin. So they code NLDB debugger. So this is for step 2 debugging. So you could debug your smart contract. I think the experience of writing smart contracts using Stellar is actually very amazing. So let's look at what you could build with Stellar. So the example use case. So one is tokenization of real world assets like real estate art. So Stellar allows this. Another is, for example, Stellar support automated payments, conditional programmable payments. So if you are Soroban, so you could do whatever you want to do, depending on put whatever logic you want to put on your application. You could build different kind of decentralized applications using. You could even add payment capabilities to your e-commerce website and a lot of others. And also, for example, Stellar also have like the abilities for you to kind of like build NFTs. So with this Soroban, you could also build your own an NFT platform on the Soroban network. So in the next couple of videos, we will actually be diving into Stellar Soroban and seeing how we can actually build our smart contracts.